shoot.
So what do you got on? What you wrote?
Yeah, I have just what we just talked about. The 57th to 39th Street when you would take the trolley.
5 cents for grown-ups and 3 cents for adults.
Yep. And
then everything was in proportion because paychecks were very, very low. The average.
what was it?
I'm glad you're recording this?
Yeah.
Paychecks were very, very low, and everything that you bought or did was in proportion to the amount of the money you earned.
Mhm.
What else what can I say? Most homes were heated at that time that's in the
What is wrong with this?
1920s, in the early 1920s. Most homes were heated with coal.
Mhm.
And so you had the coal men deliver coal down the cellar, and to get it from the truck, they'd carry it in a bucket to the opening of the cellar in the street on a chute, and it would go into the bins down the cellar. And then to get it upstairs to where your heater was that heated the house, and you cooked on it on the stove too.
Mhm.
Because it was hot, it was a coal stove, and it was hot. So you did your cooking on that. And even, there were no electric irons either. So you had the...
Those ones you had to heat up and then
Yeah,
press?
you had the iron, I don't know what to call it, iron irons, metal, and you'd heat them on the coal stove, and then...
Wouldn't you have to pick them up with a cloth or something?
Heavy pot holder.
Yeah.
Because the handle was all in one, the same as the base. And you did your pressing, your clothes pressing like that. Then eventually, steam heat came into use. And that meant you didn't have to bring coal upstairs to each stove, so that you carried in the bucket what they called a dumbwaiter.
When you were in Brooklyn, were you in an apartment building? What floor were you on?
No, we had a private home that had 3 stories, and we lived on the first story.
Okay.
Brick building, and we lived on the first floor. And we had to, like I say, we had to heat the house with the coal, and we'd go down the cellar, fill a bucket up with coal, and we had what they called a dumbwaiter with your pulleys, and you put it on this pulley, and you pulled it upstairs to where you wanted to put the coal in your kitchen stove to cook and heat your water, and what else do we have to do? And press clothes all in one.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed when there was heat came into production. So we didn't have to worry about that anymore. The heat was heated with oil.
What was that like for you guys?
We didn't have to carry any more coal upstairs in the dumbwaiter. And the house got radiators in every room with the steam heat that came into the building. And that was nice because we didn't have to carry any more coal upstairs. But you could heat the house too with coal, but you didn't have to carry it upstairs. But oil came in, which was a lifesaver, and that was a wonderful thing. But years ago, even the houses didn't have electricity. They had gas lights.
What do you mean?
You lit your house with gas.
Like lanterns and stuff? Kind of?
There was that came from a central base down the cellar, and each room had a lights, like what do you call these?
Like a light, a
A
chandelier.
fixture in every
Yeah.
room, and the fixture was in the one pipe. There was a section that when oil went through it, no gas, and then the other electric. But the electric used to fail now and then, so we always had to remember we had the gas lights.
Yeah.
So that was another big progress. Eventually, we didn't need the gas anymore. It was safe to use electric for everything, and all kinds of appliances came into use. Electric refrigerators, electric stoves,
What was that? What? How did you guys refrigerate food before that?
ice box. We'd get ice delivered to the house, big chunks of ice.
How often?
Whenever you needed it, every day practically. There was a section of your ice box where your water, where they brought your big block of ice up the stairs and into your ice box, and it had a section there with a pipe that when the ice kept melting because it was warm, every time you opened the ice box it got warmer, and you had to catch the drippings of the ice that melted underneath in a bucket and empty it in your sink. It was hard work.
Yeah.
Everything was a lot of work. Eventually, electric refrigerators came into use on everybody's house. And the steam heat, no more buckets. Things began to look pretty good. And then we used to look up every time a plane went by. Airplanes started to come in.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What was that like? That's crazy. That you saw like. That's just keep going. I'm just like amazed. I love this.
No, there were no. The airplanes started to come in, and there was one great event of this Italian airman. His name was Balboa, and he brought over a whole group in one mass landing into the airport. There was one airport in New York at that time.
Was it?
This is all in Brooklyn, New York, and New York City.
Yeah. Was it? Was JFK? Not
No,
obviously
there was
not.
no JFK
Yeah,
then.
because he wasn't. I don't even know what I'm
There
thinking.
was, wait a minute. Huh?
Are you talking to me? No. Okay, good.
Did you say the name of the airport?
No, he was watching TV. It's just Rocco.
It's
Just
still there. The name of the airport was one airport there that...
LaGuardia?
No.
in New York, in Brooklyn.
No. Floyd Bennett Field was the big
You want to
airport.
put this in the fridge, maybe?
Yeah, I just took it out of there.
Rocco.
Yeah, it was just this
We're talking about airplanes.
Floyd Bennett Field, and he came over with a group, with a mass flying. Oh, I don't remember how many, but a whole group of airplanes came at once. It was a very, very exciting thing to have a whole group of airplanes. This was way before World War One.
Mhm.
And so it was exciting that all these peaceful planes came and landed all in a group.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, that was an exciting thing. And that he got highly honorable mentions for that. And thereafter, airlines started to come into use. And today, every place you go, you want to fly. And that's why we have all these airports and that opened up transportation with airplanes. And our house was situated pretty good. And when I go up on the roof, we could see the Statue of Liberty from my roof.
Really?
Yeah.
What address did you live at?
7th Avenue.
7th Ave?
Yeah. I was close to the ocean. We'd walk. I lived on 7th Avenue, and there was what they call the Narrows and the Bay,
Mhm.
where the ocean liners started to come into use, And we'd walk down to the ocean and we'd watch all the old-fashioned, well, at the time they were the major transportation to Europe, steamships.
Yeah.
What's the name? I can't think of the names. Every country had their own big ocean liners.
Really?
Yeah, and us kids would walk down to the waterfront and we'd watch them go by. They'd go France, England, Germany, every place. That's where they came from. Manhattan. They had to go by the Narrows and then the upper and the lower bay, and that's what they did. And we used to go and watch them, and we'd play in that. There was a playground right on the First Avenue there, and we'd see all these ocean liners go by. They were nothing exciting to us. They were just normal. We'd see them all the time.
That's so cool, though.
Oh yeah, you don't see any ocean liners here.
No, yeah. That's so cool.
So we had that, and of course Manhattan grew, and New York got to be.
What was it like the buzz in the city back then? Because they always talked about how there used to be some kind of buzz every time you went to like the city, like just people, everybody talking, and now they're saying like with technology and headphones and music and iPhones and everything like that, New York like lost its buzz that it once had.
Well, there's your answer. Because technology took over.
What was it like to see technology kind of like escalate?
You mean descend? We
Well-
saw. Everybody talked on the street.
Yeah.
There was no phones,
Yeah.
no private phones. What do you call those?
Cell phones.
Cell phones. You just talk to each other. And there was all kinds of things in New York, big. New York got to be real big and important, and it still is.
I love New York.
Oh, it's beautiful. No. And of course, New York is where all the immigrants came to
Yeah.
Ellis Island,
Yeah.
and that's where they were registered. My both parents came there, registered through there, and they still do it today. Is that enough?
Yeah. Unless you want to keep talking, I mean.
No, I can't think of anything else that you'd be. You got enough there.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
I grew up there, and it got bigger and bigger. And prices got higher and higher, and then World War came, one, and then two. Oh, yeah.
All right. Say bye.
I'll say goodbye. Hope it helps you, that's all. Of course, there's a lot more incidents, but I can't sit here and think about them.
Yeah.
I didn't have any preparation. This is just...
I know. I just barged in on you.
I didn't have any preparation.